66b is a little bit tougher, but let's go over here. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 100 is 10,000, and 1,000 times 1,000 is 1,000,000. So you just take 1 followed by all the zeros. So if you go backwards, the square root of 100 is 10. The square root of 10,000 is 100. The square root of 1,000,000 is 1,000. So you can see that these numbers all have an even number of zeros. 2, 4, 6. That's the key thing, the even number of zeros. So 50,000, I see there are 4 zeros, so that's like 10,000 times the square root of 5. But when I have an even number of zeros, the square root is just half of the number of zeros, so 100, square root of 5. In the next problem, we have an odd number of zeros. We had 5, but when we do square roots, we need an even number. So I'm going to write it as 50 times 10,000. So the 4 zeros are here, and the 5th zero is over here. So I split it up, square root of 25 times 2. I know the square root of 10,000 is 100. It's half the number of zeros. The square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 2 times 100. And the order of multiplication doesn't matter. So 5 times 100 is 500, square root of 2. So once again, 66.6, there are 7 zeros. But I need to take the square root with a lot of zeros. It has to be an even number. So I write it as square root of 40 times square root of 1,000,000. Square root of 40, 4 goes into, so I write it as 4 times 10. Notice I don't do 8 times 5 because I can't do the square root of 8 evenly. I can't do the square root of 5. I need a perfect square times another number. Once again, the square root of 1,000,000 is 1,000. It's half the number of zeros. 6 here, 3 here. Now the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 10 you leave in 1,000, so you multiply. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000, square root of 10. The last example, we have an even number of zeros. It's 7 times 100,000. Or square root of 100 million. Square root of 7 times 100 million. There are 8 zeros here. The square root of 8 zeros is just half, so 4 zeros. Square root of 7 times 10,000. Now normally you write the whole number first, so 10,000 times square root of 7 is how you would write it.